So here are the 5 things that held me back as a single mom. Number 1, I wondered if I would ever be able to live my dream. I started working when I was very young. I've always had a lot of jobs. Started a business at 18. And when I had my daughter at 19, I wondered, am I gonna be able to actually live my dream, do the things that I've always wanted to do? I didn't really start to even think about this until I was in the hospital and the nurse came to me and said, your life will never be the same. And I was, at the moment, remember I was 19, you guys. At the moment, I remember thinking like, oh my God, why would you say that? Like, you don't know me. What do you mean my life is never gonna be the same? Like, I took it as, I don't know how I took it. I just took it negatively. Then that started to creep into my head, like, is my life like over? No, that's what she said. She said, life as you know it will never be the same. That's what she said. And I was just like, I wasn't really trying to receive that. At the moment, I thought that my life would continue as it had been. My life did absolutely change forever in the moment that my daughter was born. But it wasn't all bad like I thought it was when she said that. But I did wonder, like, is it kind of over for me? Life is like, I guess, going to be all about, caring for this baby as it should be as a mom. But I wondered if I would ever fulfill my potential. I think that's really what it was. I wondered if I would be able to fulfill my potential. It made me kind of like have this feeling of desperation, trying to hold on to what I felt like was mine. And I didn't really need to do that. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Your dreams, your purpose, your gifts, your talents, your skills, they are yours and they are meant for you to live an incredible life doing what you do best and doing what you enjoy. And kids are a huge responsibility, but your purpose, it never changes, it never goes away. I wish I had known that up front, because I wouldn't have been grasping to hold on to what I didn't need to hold on to. Okay, 2 is don't laugh at me, y'all. 2 is like literally after I got pregnant. Again, remember, I'm 19. I was an actress, a camera and on stage. That's how I made my living. So 2, I had this vision of like the girl Shrek. I don't even know her name. But I had this vision of her, of like turning into like that. I don't know why. It was this image I had in my head, the girl Shrek. And I was just like, I don't want to turn into an ogre. It sounds really, I hate it coming out of my mouth right now, but that's real. That's what was happening to me in that moment. I was really afraid that my body was going to change, that the way I looked was going to change, that I was just going to turn into someone I didn't want to be because now I was a new mom. 3, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to handle taking care of my daughter on my own. When she was very young, like baby toddler age, I was afraid to like go to Target. I was afraid to go to the grocery store because I was just afraid that like she would have a tantrum or something and I wouldn't be able to handle it on my own. And so because of that, like I stayed in a relationship that I maybe should have gotten out a lot sooner out of fear that I just wouldn't be able to handle it. And that was a real fear of mine that kind of kept me back and held me back from being the best that I could be. And 4, I was
afraid that no one would like want me.
And that fear isn't something that I just had on my own. It was things that like people actually told me, which is terrible. So if someone has told you that, get rid of it, like remove that right now, because that is not true. Like nobody wants a single mom, nobody wants to take care of somebody else's kids. It made me like look at relationships that I didn't need to look at, that weren't even serving me, just of this like desperation. And that's something that I wish I had not had. And 5, I hope y'all aren't laughing at me. I was afraid that my partner would fall in love, and then they'd bring this person into my child's life, and then she'd be like the new mom, and my daughter would want her instead of me. That sounds just ridiculously silly now that I'm saying it, but it was way too real back then. And you might feel that it's real, you might think it's real, you might think it's silly, but either way, that was something that I truly needed to get delivered from, because truth of the matter is there is no one that can replace you. It's better to just focus on being the best you can be, just focusing on growing, transforming, and being the person you're truly meant to be. Now, let's get into what I did to transform all these crazy fears and thoughts and craziness. One of the things that I did was getting clear on what I truly wanted. Back when I had my daughter, I was an actress. I actually ended up completely walking away. And actually my next video is going to be about walking away with no plan B, burning it all down to create the life that you love. So if that is of interest to you, definitely subscribe. I had to get clear on what I really wanted in my life. It's so easy for your family, for your friends, for your partner, for anybody to get in your head and start to fill you with stuff that just isn't even yours. Start to tell you things that cause you to beat up on yourself, or tell you things that start to make you give up on your dream. So much can happen, and getting clear on what it is that you actually want is life-changing. Where do you want to live? What type of parent do you want to be? How present do you want to be in your child's life? What type of career do you want to have so that you can have the home life that you want, so that you can have the career that you want? So starting to really get clear on those things will help you to be in position to focus, because when you're a mom, it is so easy to focus on a bunch of stuff you don't need to be focusing on. And when you know your direction, you will weed out everything that is not serving you. You will weed out all the people who are not serving you. You will weed out all the jobs that are not serving. You will weed out everything that isn't serving you. You will do that by getting clear on what it is that you really want, on your specific skills and gifts and talents, your passions, what you are actually passionate about. And yes, you get to be a single mom and be passionate. I couldn't survive if I was a mom and I wasn't able to pursue the things that I was passionate about, because those things are going to help to revive you when you're feeling low, when you're feeling stressed, help to lift you out of a really dark place when you're feeling like there's no hope to be found. Your spirituality, looking to God, all of those things are going to help you in those moments. So getting clear on what you really want, the relationship that you want, the career that you want, the type of parent that you want to be, the type of people that you want to have around you, the type of place you want to live in, the home, all of that, get clear. Because as you get clear, you will begin to do the things that bring that outcome. Now, 2, I started taking care of my health and wellness. That means asking for help, asking for support, getting involved in different communities. That may be church communities, school communities, whatever it is, but just make sure that you are asking for help and getting support in the way that you need. I've also gone to a therapist before. I've actually used BetterHelp. Obviously, this isn't sponsored. I have no subscribers, but I have used BetterHelp in the past, and the first person I had didn't even show up. And then the second person that I had was absolutely amazing. And I know it may be really hard to find people that you really gel with and like, but it's worth just keep trying and going so that you can find the support that you need in whatever way possible. Might also be free programs that you can get involved in to get therapy or help or counseling or support in any way. So definitely do your due diligence and find something that you can do to help get you the support and help that you may need. Also, scheduling my time. That was a big one. Time just gets away from you when you're a mom. Making sure that you schedule in Things like working out, things like meal prepping, cleaning, spending time with your kids, working on your passions or side projects. Scheduling it is going to save you so much time in the long run and move you forward in achieving your goals. And your health and wellness is also tied to the job that you have, the career that you're pursuing. It's okay to pursue a career that works for your family. I took jobs that I had to do crazy hours, drive crazy distances, but I was making a choice that was right for me and right for my kid. My daughter goes to school very far away from where I live, so I needed to make sure I had a job that I could pick her up at 3:00 or whatever when she got out of school. Having 2 jobs, 3 jobs, I've had to do a lot of things so that I made sure that the job that I had, the career that I was pursuing, was in line with the type of lifestyle I wanted to have and the type of parent that I wanted to be. I know it's not going to be pretty always. Like I said, I've had 3 jobs before. When I was in college with more than full-time units, I was always doing them with the vision in mind of where I wanted to go and what I wanted for my life, for my child's life. So don't feel like, well, I'm going to stick to this job because, it pays the bills and I'm too afraid to do anything. Like, no, it's okay to start to look in a different direction. It doesn't mean you burn the house down and just quit your job and quit everything and just, charge into the direction you want to go in. It doesn't mean that, but it means that you are starting to plan, that you are starting to dream, that you are starting to look at different scenarios. Well, what if I lived there? Well, what if I had a job where I didn't have to leave home? Well, what if, and you can what if your way to a whole new life. Allow yourself to dream. You're worthy. You're deserving. You get to have the lifestyle that you desire and be the mom that you want to be. But again, it starts with an action. So what action is that going to be? That leads into 3, doing the scary thing. Woo! Let's talk about it. I had to start having hard conversations, and I started to learn how to actually communicate. I talk to people all the time, and they tell me their stories about just these crazy relationships, and I feel so bad, but I've also been there, so I get it. But what I needed to learn was how to communicate and how to have discernment. As a single mom, especially when you're dealing with, an ex-partner, and they're living their life and you're trying to combine your life and trying to co-parent, all that kind of stuff, you have to learn to have discernment. That means that if your partner says something to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you go off on them. That means that when you want to say something so badly, it doesn't mean that you actually have to say it. And there are so many situations that I was in, that you may be in, that you want to have a certain response. But guess what? You don't always get to have that response because you have to use discernment. You have to make the right choice. You have to use wisdom in certain situations because you can do a certain thing and, oh gosh, I could tell a story right now. Woo! I want to, but I don't think I will. Learning to discern. So let's say someone cusses you out, or, I'm going to pick up the kids and I'm and you want to have a certain response. Sometimes the response may be to clap back and be like, excuse me, that you will not speak to me like that. Sometimes that's the response. Sometimes it's, you know what, you're very upset right now. I'm very upset right now. So, let's just end this conversation and let's pick this back up in an hour or so, or let's pick this back up tomorrow. Or maybe the response is you just to not say anything at all. Whatever it is, you have to figure that out, and you have to use discernment. You can't just do what you want to do in every moment, because there's 2 people, maybe 2 families, your kids, and it all rides on your decisions in given moments. You've got to make good decisions. Sometimes you have to be gentle. Not easy, but sometimes you have to be gentle. Like sometimes you just got to let go. Sometimes you can't say what you want to say. You can't do what you want to do. You can't go where you want to go. You just have to make the right decision for your family, for you, for your kids, for the relationship. Sometimes you just can't let people walk over you as well. Like I said, it's going to take discernment which way you end up going in a given circumstance. But that's something you have to develop. Maybe I'll do a video on that. And always get help if you're in a situation where you need help. Then you need to get help. A heated moment today doesn't mean that next week, next month, next year, 5 years, you guys can't be in a really great place, because it is totally possible. 4, trusting God. Trusting God is huge, because there are so many moments when I felt like I don't know what to do. I don't know how this bill is going to get paid. I don't know how I'm going to figure out where to put school to put my daughter in. I don't know how I'm going to figure out how to get this job or become the thing that I'm trying to become or whatever. There's so many times where I just didn't know. I don't know how to fix the relationship, that I need to be working, but it isn't working right now. I don't know. And so being able to trust God, there's so many times, something that I do now that has been so helpful is literally saying, God, this is too heavy for me. And I know I'm not meant to handle this on my own. So I'm going to literally give it to you. And I literally just imagine myself taking the thing and handing it over to God. Being like, it's too big for me. Yeah, can't do it. You have to do it. You have to lead me. You have to guide me. You have to show me what I need to be doing right now, because I really just don't know. And that has been so helpful. You are not alone, and you're not meant to be Superwoman and do everything. God is there to guide you, lead you, show you the right path, all the things. Cast your burdens on the Lord. That was huge for me. I wouldn't be here. I would not be here without the help of God. And the last thing is falling in love with where you are. This is a journey. It is a journey, a hard journey. And you got to fall in love with the journey. Don't be so caught up in getting to the finish line or getting to what you want. The relationship, getting the career, getting the car, getting the home. Don't be so caught up in the end result that you miss everything in between. Because the journey is the success. The journey is the thrill, is the adventure, is the beauty. So start to enjoy the journey. When I realized that I just gotta be okay where I am. I just have to be in love with everything. Yeah, I may not be living, where I want to live. I may not have what I want to have. I may not be able to go where I want to go. But I can be so grateful and so thankful and so in love with the things that I do have. It can be the most simple thing. I have air in my lungs. I breathe on my own. Be grateful for where you are, because that is going to free you up to enjoy the process. Believe in what you desire. If you have a dream, I really dream of writing a book. Believe in that. Don't think that you can't have that. Don't think that you're not worthy of that. You're not deserving of that. That can't be you. You're not that girl. No, you are that girl. You're that girl. So just believe. Be like, I don't know how. But if I have it in my heart, it didn't come from nowhere. The desires that I have, they didn't come from nowhere. The gifts that I have, the skills, they didn't come from nowhere. They were given to me for a purpose. And it may be some time before I realize all of it and I can see all of it manifest, in my life. But it's okay. I can still hold the belief that those things are going to come to pass, and I can still make decisions today that are in the best interest of those beliefs. What is for you will not pass you by. You are loved, you are seen, you are valued, you are deserving, you are worthy, you are special, you are beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, then you're definitely going to want to check out this video.